What's up, friends? Welcome to Go Health Yourself. I'm John, and so this is going to be a little bit different content. I'm going to tell a story, something that I experienced that was one of the strangest things that happened to me in my life. And as I said, I'm going to start to branch this channel off a little more to having to do with the mind. I think it's only right that I work on my mind because I can't use a lot of my body anyways. So I think it's a great idea to work on my mind. But anyways, I want to tell you guys this story. It's something I've only told two or three people. It's a very strange experience that I had, and I think it has to do with the mind, and I think you'll enjoy it. So, um, uh, I used to live in Florida, and this was about 2006, 2007, and I was living in Vero Beach at the time. At an apartment complex called Canterbury Place, and I was living with my friend's cousin Jenny, renting a room out from her apartment. So there was a girl that lived across the way. I'm not going to say her name, but she would be on and off there because her parents were divorced, and her mom lived at that complex. So I ended up meeting this girl, and I really liked this girl, and we ended up kind of seeing each other, dating, whatever you want to call it. And she was very interesting. There was something about her. I'm not sure, like real awesome charisma, very confident person. There was something about her that I couldn't put my finger on that I liked. She had good energy. So one night she's like, "I got to show you something." So this is like quite a while ago, so it's not going to be exact, but this is basically the story that I've told. So she takes me into her room there, her bedroom, and she's like, "I want to show you something." So I'm like, "What is it?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" I was a little bit nervous. I had no idea like what this girl was going to do because I had just met her. It had only been like, I don't know, a few weeks. So she turns the lights off. I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "This is very strange. What the hell's going on?" And she's like, "Look up in the corner of the room." So, by the way, if I didn't mention this, changed my complete perspective on life of like what reality is and what is actually happening. So she turns the light off. She's like, "Look up in the top corner of the room near the ceiling." And I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Do you see it?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, What the heck's going on?" So she's like, "Do you see it now?" So all of a sudden, um, I see these lights. Now, the best way I can describe them is they were about an inch long, so very, yeah, like an inch long, short, but like thin, like the blade of grass. And first I see two, three, four, and then like a bunch of them appear, and they're like if you look at like seaweed in the ocean from the top, like if you look down on seaweed, how it sways, it sways with the waves. This is exactly what these lights were doing, and there was no projector, there was no like LED lights hanging, nothing like this, and they were swaying back and forth, like I would say like 30 or 40 of them in like a cluster, and they would change from like red, green, blue, violet to like a bunch of different colors, like the colors of like prism spectrum, and they would like sway back and forth and change. And I'm like, "What the hell is that?" And I got like this sense of peace, but I kept asking her, I'm like, "What is that? What is that?" And she's like, I can't tell you. I think that's what she said. She said she couldn't tell me. But this was very, very strange. Nothing that I've ever seen in my entire life. And she ends up turning the lights on, and I asked her like, "What was that?" And she kept telling me she's not gonna tell me, or I think she like said she couldn't tell me. But yeah, so that experience. By the way, after she turned the lights on, I was looking for like Christmas lights, like a projector on the floor, but there was nothing. So I don't know what this is. The only thing that I could remotely compare this to is like what people see, orbs or things like that. So it was extremely strange, but it definitely changed my perspective of like what can happen and what reality is. And slowly, I dated this girl for, I don't know, like 3, 4 months. And slowly she kind of like distanced herself from me. I'm not sure why. Yeah, it was a very interesting, strange experience. And yeah, hopefully something similar has happened. Something similar has happened to someone that watches this video. But I figured I'd just put it on the internet because it's something that happened to me. I was very reluctant to make this video because it's strange. I don't care if you believe me or not, but this is what I saw. And I only told a few people because it's a very strange experience that I know that not a lot of people have seen. So, yeah, so having to do with the mind and, I don't know, manifesting something, it was pretty cool. So, yeah, that's my little story there. I hope you enjoyed it, and be more mind manifestation, things like that type stuff. Not like crazy stuff like that. It's gonna be, but that was like one of the few times that something very strange happened to me. I have a couple other stories that were strange that happened to me when I was younger, but yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed it. As always, stay strong, stay active, stay creative, and go help yourself. Over and out.